set it out here in the shop, and I thought, you know, I'm going to work on something. I had bought something from somebody on eBay. This is a Jason Goes to Hell worm silicone thing. And what I want to do is I can't use this for anything. In other words, it's too big and too thick to go in the hockey mask. And I kind of want to see if I can make my own version of this. And I've got a snake form here. Now the snake form itself is too big. So, you know, that's kind of out of the question. But this is what I had originally thought to do was, you know, oh, I've got an old snake form, I can do that. But I do have clay. I've got monster clay, a regular clay here, so I'm going to try to put this together and mold it over this form just to get a shape. And of course, it's just like a round thing. You can do it pretty much with anything. So, the original idea is to try to make this as good as possible with this. And adding to it, because see, I don't want it too thick and I don't want it too thin. But I do want to, and I apologize for not doing this live. I tried to do it live on Facebook, but the stupid internet out here is sketchy at best. Always is. So here we go. I'll mold this out. And it's not that big a deal. The thing is, you want to shape it. So get the head. The head is a flat thing right there. So that's going to be flat. And the head being big does not matter because the body part is what needs to be smaller to make sure that it goes through the mask eye holes, which is what I'm hoping I can do. I want to have this thing have a shape like so. And I'll try this in clay first, and if it doesn't work, I mean, I can do it, and then I can probably take an impression on this and make a get your general form here. It's probably going to look like a giant shit, to be honest with you. I won't imagine that when I post photos of this thing up on the internet, oh, that looks like shit. Well, yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. That's what it is. Big brown or big shit. When it starts out, anyway. Everything looks like shit when it starts out. The trick is with this is there's a lot of veins and stuff in that thing that are going to need to be put in. I'll show you exactly how to do that. All you do is really roll up a little clay and shit. Now, I talked with Bill Hunt a while back about this. I wanted to do this project because, you know, I have the Jason Goes to Hell masks that I produce. And the thing is I didn't want to step on his toes because he's the original creator of it, but he says, oh, you know what? Make it because there needs to be more art out there. So I'm like, okay. So I got permission from him to do it. Now, my initial idea was I had no reference to do this with, you know, because all you have is photos to go off of. And, you know, I saw this guy selling one on eBay, and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to buy it. It wasn't that expensive. And it's not that very, I'm not going to knock him if he made it or if he's just selling it. I have no idea what the case is. I don't know the guy personally. But the thing is I did buy it to have a reference for this because there are details and stuff in there that I kind of want to see if I can put over. I don't know if I'm going to make it better than this one. This one apparently has teeth in it that are resin or something. They're not that good. And the thing is I'm not even going to try to. I looked in my supplies to find any teeth, and I did not find anything short of coyote teeth. And I've got a box of them over there too. Best that I think I might be able to do, and I doubt I'll even do that, is I have a 3D print that I did a few years back, which was an alien mouth. And I never did do anything with that other than to try to mold the teeth to use as like insert prop for something. And they didn't come out that well. But those are the only thing I think might, and those are even, I think, too big. So, you know. And the thing is this has got a tapering tail on it. So you've got a tapering tail right here that comes out. And I don't know if it has a stinger on the tail or not. But, and then the head here is flat. You got to put eyes in it. So what you're going to do is I'm going to make a couple of eyeballs here and put them on the end of the head. And just flatten these out a little bit. The only problem with these eyes is you can do one and it can be too big. And then you can do another one too small. And see, I don't have anything to go off of except looking at this thing and going into it and going, okay, you know, this is what it's supposed to look like. So it starts out as basically just a rough shape. Then I've got different tools that I can use to make some of the different things that textures. It's got a lot of rolling textures that go over the skin. So I've got those tools in my shop, I think. Over there, I might have to go get them. So we'll put rough these eyes out, just put these on here. Now the problem that I'm having with this is deciding, okay, now if I want to make a silicone mold of this, much like that one, I would need to know how to mold silicone in silicone. In other words, I make this as I would a resin thing, right? So what I do is I sculpt this out, fine detail. It's probably going to take me a day or so to do it. I might have this done by tomorrow, Sunday. I'll be working on this pretty much all night, all day. Not all night, all day, but pretty much non-stop. And I'll do some live videos in the house of sculpting this so you guys can see how it turns out. And I can promise you it's not going to look good at first. It is not going to look good at first. So, so we have a basic shape. Basic shape here. I'm going to shape this out more to an S for a snake or a ship, however you want to put it. Like I said, the middle of the body is a little bit thicker than what I want, and I'm probably going to have to do, what I'd like to do is maybe make a mold of this and rough it out. And then if I rough it out, I can make a mold of this and then do a clay pour of clay in it, because monster clay is a little bit better to work with than regular clay. I mean, regular clay's good, don't get me wrong, but I've got monster clay and I'd like to see if I could do that as well. Now, making a mold of something and doing clay pour of it is not, is one way you can do it. But you have to make sure that what you're doing clay pour of is not the original thing, because you don't want anybody to accuse you of stuff, that type of thing. Because a while back I got in trouble with buying a master on eBay, which I thought was a legitimate purchase. And I did a resin copy of that, and it turned out somebody else owned the rights to it. So what happened there was is that person contacted me, asked me to stop, and I go, oop, okay, I did it, you know. But then there are people out there that, no matter what you do, you're going to, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. That's why I record video on everything and put it up on YouTube, because it's proof in conversations, that type of thing. So what we're going to do is but that's not, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because like I said, you make one mistake and people will, judge you by the rest of your life for it. Okay, now, the thing is, I'm going to do this real quick. I want to sketch out on here about where the mouth and the lips are going to go. So this lip this thing has a lip, so I'm going to put an indentation for the mouth in here, right? Alright. Now I'm going to sculpt out some teeth and put them in here, but they're not going to be very good. They're going to be square and blocky. And they're going to look horrible. Hope y'all are staying safe during this COVID crap. I have my own personal beliefs about that, but I'm not going to push them on anybody. Okay, so we got a general mouth. Alright, now see, this is why I like working with monster clay better, because you see I'm trying to put this together. And it doesn't want to stay, it's cracking and pulling apart. get this in general S shape here. Like I said, I'm looking at this thing for reference because the only thing I've got is photos to go off of. So it's not even the same size, I don't think. Roughly it is. Wow, look at that. It's roughly the same size. That was totally unintentional. Look at that. So you got the real snake here. Put it right out in front. So, and then of course it's about the same size. So that's good. The thing is like I said, with these there's a method to putting all the little veins and stuff in there. And I'm going to do that real quick. What I'm going to do is put this on pause for a second, go get my tools, and I will be right back. We're not going to need the snake, so I was going to use this as a model for this, so hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Got my tools here. Now here's what I'm going to do to show you guys how to do the grooves on the back. Okay. On this, what you do is take a tool like this, as a wood tool. It's got an angle thing right there, right? So you can take that angle part and just go in the model all the way around and groove it up. And I have silicone tip tools here that are wonderful things to use. What you can do is just go around the whole thing. And do it. It's probably not going to look exactly like that silicone one, but I don't want it to be exactly like that. Just make these impressions around the side here. And just roll. Now the bottom of this thing is flat, so I've got to flip this over. I'm going to take this inside and flip this over and do it on the thing here. And just make your grooves. You can make light indentions, you can make heavy ones. Doesn't matter. The bottom one, see, I can't see because the bottom one has no reference. So I think I'm going to do something special for that. I think what I'm going to do is just put a unique number of things on the bottom, little grooves, because I wasn't really, when I posted up the snake photo a few minutes ago, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's going to be, Dune or something like that. And I said, no. I wanted to do this. Like I said, this is a real rough thing here. And by no means perfect. Never is. But it's always nice to have something, like I said, when you have something you can work as reference from. And I do want to do probably a monster clay version. Because monster clay, if I want to make the textures with this a little bit more, and then I can melt it down with a heat gun. and then just kind of take like a spongy or something like that and just kind of rough it out and make the skin textures and stuff like that. Okay, so you got a lot of this. Now the thing is there's veins and stuff, like on the back of the neck. There's veins. Now see right here? I've got this where there's a mouth, there's eyes, and then about the same spot, oddly enough, look at that. The neck stops, and one of the first of the things starts. So like I said, you guys are seeing I'm doing this all by hand, all by eye, but anyway, the vein work is very simple on the back of the neck. The problem I'm going to have, I think, it's the front of the face, because the front of the face on the pictures has like 3 different types of veins that go down. All you do is roll out clay like this and put it on here. The thing is, I kind of want to do this in a form and fashion where I don't really want to, it's hard not to try to replicate the exact thing that I'm looking at because I'm using it as a reference. So I'm trying to not make a copy of it, but at the same time it's kind of hard because I'm just putting on what I see. And in the photos, there's not anything to utilize for reference. I'm going to pull this bucket over here. Man, it's hot out here today. How's y'all? It's supposed to be hot. I think today, tomorrow, and Monday it's supposed to be pretty hot. So I don't know exactly what to think. That's why I think I'll move in the house and do this. Now some of these veins are real small. I'm just going to roll them out like this and put them over the top and do that. And then I'll go back in with some sculpting tools and soften it up. Like I said, it's just kind of, it's not going to look as good, the same as this, but it's like using this as reference, just kind of going, okay, let's see what we can do here. I'll put those veins in there. Of course, going to soften it up. I can do this pretty much all the way down. I'm not sure right now what I'm going to use for the texture part of this because it's bumpy. And it's usually got those rolls in it. But those rolls all have rolls inside of rolls. So there are ways to do that and just put little rolls inside of those. Just take it up and maybe, you know, make something different, like a roll and it stops. Another roll and put a lighter roll in there. Just going to shape that out a little bit and soften it up. Then you put the thing in here and just put these veins on here. So I'm going to do veins over here too. I'm going to take some clay off the bottom of this because it's too big. I can tell already. So I want to pinch this up and make this kind of like mushy. This is where it's really going to look like shit. The bottom's too flat and it's too thick in the middle. And like I said, the idea is to try to get this to be a size that you can put in mask and look through the eye holes of mask and stuff. So, you know. Like I said, this is flat. And it doesn't really have that good texture. It's kind of choppy, messy. I'm just going to leave this like this for the moment. Like I said, this is just a rough thing. It's not a big thing. It's not, you know. But, you know, like I said, if I were to do a monster clay version of this, I'd want to fucking just, you know, do a quick mold of this. Put this in there. And do that. I could do a regular clay version, but the thing is, it dries out. Monster clay doesn't dry out. So, it's cracking and molding and cracking and pulling away. I'll just take these grooves and put these grooves on here, but I don't know. Just go around, all the way around here like this, and just kind of make these little rigid nuggets. So, and then the bottom, I think I'm going to do a select number because it's too flat and it's going to, so. Like I said, you get the general idea where you make the textures and stuff like that they're going to, you know, come out and the grooves are going to work. And just roll over and put grooves inside of grooves. So you've got these lumps and bumps that kind of go over this. Because like I said on the back here, it's just these lumps and bumps. And what I've got to do is smooth these out and make sure that it's not the same. Just roll, 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 roll. And just make this and just kind of go like this. Just go around. the outsides of this. So I don't know how to do this. I might have to. The thing about silicone and silicone is what's bothering me, because like I said, I want to make a silicone version of mine, but I want it to be one that will fit in the mask. So if it fits in the mask and stuff, and then what I can do is just like lightly rub this out and smooth down those lines so it's not so predominant and a little bit dimply. So I haven't finished the tail because I don't know if the tail's got a stinger on it or not. So I have to find out. This one doesn't have one. It's just got like a flat worm tail. But I don't want mine to be exactly like this. It's going to be similar, but not exactly. Ugh. Okay, now we'll do the neck, the veins. I'll probably shape these veins about the same way though, because they look natural. And the thing is, I think as bad as this may look, as even this is a silicone thing, which is not very well painted, the paint job might be what makes it look better, if I can paint it. I have to reach out to a couple of friends on Facebook and find out exactly what the best way to paint a solid silicone, a silicone model before. I'd like to, but so cut that off right there. And then there's a band part where it doesn't have the thing, and I'm just going to cut a groove in here and make that a vein, like that. Some of these ones that are real prominent, you want to roll a vein on top, but some of the ones like this, you can cut grooves in here. See, what's that one? You just cut a groove in there and make a vein. And then of course you go down the sides here and just do the same thing, just kind of cut a little groove. Make a vein, smooth it out. The thing is, the veins you want to look like they're part of the skin, under the skin. And what it is the coloring on the paint job is what will set that aside and show it differently. what we're going to do is I'm going to look at these eyes a second. These eyes are a little bit weirder. No, put these eyes in here. Doesn't look like much now because it's just eyes and a mouth. See, this thing keeps coming apart. That's why I'm wanting to make a damn a monster clay version, because the monster clay version is thicker and shit. Shit, I've got some I can melt down and just fucking, you know, pour over it or something and do it, but put little veins and stuff in here and just kind of roll these out. Let me see. So lay that out and go, okay, vein work right there. Put this up and kind of chop this up a little bit. Make it look just a little rougher. So just smooth these out and make them look prominent. Well, see, this part wants to come off. Like I said, that's why I want to do monster clay. It's still fucking around and just messing up. I'm going to lay a bunch of veins on top of the sand, and I think I'm just going to do a quick mold of this and put it in monster clay because it's going to be easier to work with. Of course, it's going to be a rough thing. It's not going to be just perfect. When I get it in a monster clay, though, it'll be a little bit more manageable, I think. So all I'm doing is putting like the little grooves and the gaps. See, this thing wants to fall apart again. And just making little rolls and rivets on here. So I'll probably have to firm this up on the sides here because it looks like it's too much of a bend. Not turning out too bad. But this is going to be a long, arduous process. That's the whole thing. So cut a groove down the middle. So I've got grooves in the middle right here, just like this, and just kind of rough up the edges a little bit and make it look a little bit more distorted. At least on the back. Just kind of smooth those over. Just go all the way down the tail here and just kind of put in like a line of vein work here. And then just smooth it out and roll it over. And go back in there and do those grooves again on top of those because you want the grooves and all that to mesh in together. So there you go. Like I was saying earlier, I think this is going to be, like I said, if I want to make a silicone thing, I got to find out. I think I may have to ask somebody who knows how to do it. I've got a number of friends that know how to do silicone, but thing is, I make this in clay. I make a silicone mold of it like I would for resin. But if I want to make this into one like this where it's silicone, then how do you pour silicone into silicone? That's a dilemma that I've got, and trying to figure that out, what works best for that. So I may have to confer with some of my friends. I've got a ton of, I don't know if Alan Hops knows how to do it, but I'll probably ask him next time I get the chance. Okay, now I want to do the teeth. And what I'm going to do is turn this around so this thing keeps going on about, see, it keeps coming apart. Like I said, monster clay doesn't do this shit. And that's why I think I'm going to make a mold of this in monster clay and finish it up, because it keeps coming apart. It's making me angry, frustrating me. Last time I got angry was with the Terminator model, and y'all saw that. I threw that thing a couple of times across the room, but the vinyl just bounced. No big deal. I have to remember I'm not doing this live. It's fucking YouTube reference. It's too bendy right here. It's not to have more clay in here. That's what the problem is. Gotta try to make this in a perfect S shape, because then I'll take some alginate or silicone or something like that and maybe box mold this and see if I can't do a monster clay pour of it and work in the fine details of it. This thing's frustrating the hell out of me. It really is. Thing is, I don't have anything to gauge us size-wise by mask to fit in the hockey mask, because that's why I'm trying not to make the middle too thick, but it's hard to keep this clay together without doing that. That's why I said I'm going to probably make a rough cut of this to mold it up and pour some monster clay in here and then try to work in all the fine details. Because even like I said, you know, if it's too big and too thick and some of the rough cuts and stuff like that, and I do this, I can always shave down the monster clay version, because it is oil-based, and if I can shave it and trim it down to fit the eye holes in the mask, then that's what will work. Okay, I think we've got it. I'll make it look a little bit more natural here. I'm going to try to shape this and make it form out the right way. And then go in and put these grooves again. There we go. Flatten that down a little bit. There we go. Not coming out like the perfect S it should be. I need to make it longer. See, it's going to be too fat here in the middle. I don't want that fat. But like I said later, after I cast this up in the monster clay, I can go back down. I can trim it, shave it, do all that. I'm just trying to get the rough details of it right now. Flatten that out on the back because it's got to have a little bit. There we go. There we go. I got it. I got it. Now it's starting to look proper. If it'll stay together, so it can stay together long enough for me to work with it and fucking put the monster clay in there. There we go. Put a little bit of vein work up on top of here. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to modify this a little bit more than do a mold of it and probably do a clay pour up and try to get this to look a little bit better. The eyes are what really bothers me because I'm looking at these eyes. I don't like the way those eyes look. And I got to put teeth in here too. So it's going to be square blocky teeth. These are not going to be good. Because the teeth here, I don't know what this guy did or what, whoever made this, I don't know what they did. But they've got some ragged, jagged, nasty things in there, and it's just... So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this around. I take this tooth, and it's got to be so big. These teeth are terrible. I don't know if I want an open mouth to where this thing has like a lip. I'll put this right here. So I'm getting really frustrated with this because it's coming apart. Like I said, I'm just going to fucking throw a rough mold of this, probably do it up in monster clay. That way I can work out all the fine details on it later. I'm going to pinch off some blocks and put them in the mouth. Make teeth. Probably put a block of clay in there and just sculpt them out. Don't want it open mouth, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. So fangs on the top, fangs on the bottom, and then a bunch of little teeth in the middle. Right now they'll be blocky and square because I don't. Oops. Alright. Got teeth in there. Put this out kind of itchy sketches little. I start a vein on top of the head, but I have to work the eyes. Okay. Just run along here and scratch the body up a little bit. Not bad, but I want to see about these eyes. I'm going to put these eyes and see if I can do some details on these eyes and scratch them out. They're going to be uneven, I think. I don't know. I don't like the way these eyes look. Well, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sculpt these eyes out, and I'm just going to turn around and put this in monster clay. It's going to be a lot easier to get these fine details molded and sculpted with monster clay because I don't have to do pushing, pulling, that type of thing. So we'll get the not going to be highly detailed because I can't, there's not really any detail on this. I can't do anything but kind of go with it. And then of course I got to make a couple of pock marks for the nose holes. So it roughly looks like it, but not quite. I have to go and fine detail the eyes. I want to get the lids and stuff like that. Shut. Teeth are going to be blocky and square. They're not going to be as good in here as this thing is. I've put these teeth in here before I mold it though, because they're not going to come out that well and they're just going to be blocky and square. They're going to look bad. They are going to look bad. But after I get this done in monster clay, it'll be able to be refined and I can go in and fine tune and fine detail it. There we go. So I got teeth in there now. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and cut this off and mold this up in the monster clay. It's about the same size. Mold it up in monster clay and just work with it from there because this thing keeps breaking off and I'm do that. I want to get these teeth set in here first. Make sure these teeth. Like I said, there's just blocks of clay right now. They're not going to be anything. Just freaking too blocky, too square. and take a tool and just etch them out. See, the thing is, when doing the teeth, you could do the fangs and put them in there and just kind of take a little, whatchamacallit, and push it in there. And you can make teeth like this, impression in clay, but these are not going to look good. Because what I want to do is I want to try to have this be an open mouth. And it has a bottom lip and all that. So what you do is you put that and put the fang up the side of it. It kind of looks like a snake. Redefine these eyes a little bit. It's probably going to take me a couple of days to get this done, just to get it like all the little details. But see, like I said, I'm going to get this in to go by as reference. So, and then the photos on the internet. Photos on the internet probably better because this thing doesn't have any detail on it. It's not a bad piece. It's just, you know, I thought, why not make the only one? Now what we can do is I got to put a little bottom lip on this thing here. I don't even know what time it is. It's still morning, but here we go. I don't know how well this will come out when I mold this, but the teeth are going to not be very well done. Because some of it, you know, have the open mouth and have the teeth in there and stuff like that, and then I got this lip one put on here. It's crude. A little reshaping and redefining will come out and be good, I hope. So I don't know if this one has an open mouth. I think it does, but like I said, these teeth are just little bits and pieces in here. They're not very good. And it's got a flat squared lip. I'll see if I can put a lip on this one. Got this lip out here. Thing is, I want an open mouth, yet I want this thing to have teeth. So I got to figure out what to do. So I'm gonna do this. Put a fang in there right there and just kind of blocky. It's just, I don't like the way it's coming out. Looks like a leech. Alright. I'm going to refine this just a little bit more, and then I think because it keeps coming apart, I'm just going to go ahead and mold it, cast it up, monster clay, and then I'll go in the house, go live on video, and do some refining with it and stuff like that, because this clay is pissing me off because it's just not staying put. So I'll put this together, shape it out a little bit more, kind of do a monster clay version of this, and then work on it from there. So that'll work, that'll help.